Hi everyone. I want to start this week's video by thanking all of you for all your really nice comments and your condolences about my uncle, since my last video was based on going through the grieving process while having Tourette's syndrome from losing my uncle. Life has been a little crazy lately. Even since then, we've had a few more family situations happen, but everything's good. Life with me is also pretty crazy, so I do want to say that my videos will probably be a little bit fewer and far between over the next few months. My husband and I we're in the process of selling our house and hopefully building a new one, so life's gonna get a little crazy right now, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to make the videos, so I do apologize for that, but I'm going to do my best. Today's video is going to be about a question that I was asked about how my tics have changed over time and how my Tourette's have changed as I've gotten older. I think that this was a very, very good question because my tics and my Tourette's for me has changed kind of drastically, I would say, over the years. When I was younger, I used to be told, or I used to read, that as you get older, as you get into your 20s and into adulthood, that the tics start to fade, that they start to disappear and you won't tic anymore. And I remember being so excited about that. I remember saying to people, I can't wait till I'm 20 something so I don't tic anymore, or that I tic even less. But unfortunately for me, and actually I think for a lot of other people with Tourette's as well, my tics have gotten much, much worse since when I was a child. Now, by much, much worse, keep in mind that I do have a mild case. So much worse for me isn't on the same scale as somebody who already has a very bad case and whose Tourette's are worse to begin with. But to me, it kind of makes sense that they would get worse rather than better as you get older, because as an adult, there's a lot more stressors and a lot more things to worry about and bigger life events that happen. And so for me, it makes sense that my Tourette's would get worse because there's more everyday stress. Like I working a job full time, I was going to college and planning a wedding and selling my house, which has increased my tics quite a bit over the past few weeks because of excitement and all of that fun stuff. So they have gotten worse as I've gotten older, and I have more good days than bad days in general. But as I've gotten older, I have much more, as I've gotten older, I've had more bad days than when I did when I was a child. And I think it is because of a lot of stress and everything else that goes on in my life. And there's just days where it just won't stop, and a lot of people don't see that in these videos, and I will make a video that shows that one day. On one of my really bad days, I'll try to make a video. I apologize if it doesn't happen for a while, because when I'm taking really bad, my first thought generally isn't to get online and film myself and talk about it. So I will try to do that one of these days if a bad day occurs. Which I'm sure it's only a matter of time for that. Now, as for how my tics have changed over the years, as you can see, I tic a lot with my, well, you can't see me ticking, but with my stomach, but I do tic a lot with my stomach and my breathing. They kind of go hand in hand. When I was younger, I don't remember doing that, ticking with my breathing a lot. I did tic with my stomach. The very first tic that I've noticed in my body was ticking with my stomach. But my main tic lately and into adulthood has been ticking with my stomach and my breathing. Some of the vocal tics have changed. Now, mind you, I don't have very many vocal tics whatsoever, but I used to kind of make like a ticking sound with my tongue when I was younger, and that was kind of like my main vocal, and even though I didn't do it very often, now it's kind of where I make noises while I breathe. And see, now that I'm talking about it, makes me want to do it more. But the noises kind of come out when I breathe, and as I've gotten older, it never happened when I was younger. I started to find the need to repeat people a lot, or say a certain phrase that I say over and over again. And I've never used to really do that, and I do it kind of in like a hushed, whispered tone most of the time, and sometimes I can keep it in my head, but sometimes I do have to repeat it out loud. A a lot of times I'll let that one out verbally and out as loud as I want it to be when I'm in my car kind of by myself. I try to keep it on a hushed tone normally, so a lot of people don't even know that I do that one, I don't think. But when I was younger, I used to flip my whole head down, and I would flip it back up as if a girl was spraying something all over her hair when she flips it over, and I would flip it back up very, very forcefully, and I used to hit my head up towards the ceiling just like that a lot. That was a very, very big tic for me when I was younger, kind of, I would say, middle school area of age, and I did that a lot, and it caused a lot of neck pain and jaw pain because it moves my jaw a lot as well. Thankfully I don't do that one so much anymore. When I do my hair, and I am spraying stuff on it because my hair does have a natural wave / curl to it, every once in a while I do get that urge to do it again, and so I will flip my head back more forcefully than most girls would. One time when I was younger, I actually I jumped up and down on Christmas Eve one time because I was really excited. Thankfully, I haven't done that one ever since then. But I think my tics have gotten they've gotten more forceful in a way, but also smaller at the same time, if that makes sense. I think my tics were bigger when I was younger because I had such a hard time getting them out, so to speak. As you get older, I think that you kind of tend to understand how to force it. I don't want to say force it somewhere else because that's not really true either. But I find ways to let them out in, I guess, more subtle ways. Like as I've gotten older, my tics have had smaller movements, but they are quicker and they're a little bit more forceful. When I was younger, they were bigger movements and they were done in bigger ways. Like when I was younger, I feel like it was more noticeable, I guess. As I've gotten older, a lot of people say that they've never seen me tic. When they do, it's just a lot of times when I'm ticking, they don't see it, like with my stomach. Or I tic in ways where like it looks like I'm stretching my neck out and people think that's what I'm doing. Or if there's music on, I've been asked, I don't know how many times, if I was dancing to the music, and half the time it's just easier to say yes than to explain that I have Tourette's. In that moment, most of the time I don't care, but it's just easier sometimes to just say yes and move on from the subject. That's really all I have for that video. I kind of want to try and keep these a little bit shorter and sweeter for you guys, so you're not sitting in front of the computer watching it all night long. If there are any other questions, please feel free to ask me. If you want, you can, or if you prefer, you can email me. My email is in the description below. There is another, my next video will be the one about ticking or Tourette's and my college life, because somebody did ask me to make a video about that, so I promise that one is coming. So if there's any other questions or any other videos or any other topic you would like to hear me talk about, please let me know, and please remember to keep subscribing, commenting, and sharing my video. I'm having a ton of subscribers lately and a ton of views, and it's really, really nice to see. So I appreciate all of you guys watching, and I appreciate all of your comments and your love. It truly, truly does mean the world to me. So thank you so much.